And welcome to our new home. A lot of people moving today. I think that's a good thing. This is... Can you hear that?
I can hear it.
Yay. This is Making an Impact, your one-stop shop for all things Impact Wrestling news related. We're on a new night. Much
For the first time, like, ever.
Yeah. Well, no, we used to go Monday, Tuesday. But
Did we?
Yes, way back in the day. Because it used to be a Tuesday show that we did. I don't know why it was Tuesday. I think it was just a carryover from my Force of Wrestling days. But
Maybe. I mean, it would have been, let's see. Well, back then, Impact was on Thursdays, and then there was SmackDown on Fridays, and then there was Raw on Mondays. So right. Tuesday made sense.
Yes. Yes. I think we went live after ECW. Or during it.
I would say during it. I can't imagine we gave enough fucks about ECW to not.
Not by 2012. Originally, so here's just the original breakdown that I remember. We started going live on Sundays when it was Force of Wrestling, when I was on forceofwrestling.com.
Mm-hmm.
Then when I got kicked off for saying no words.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, I was a bad boy. Me and Ed Scolio got fired from our podcast. And we got blocked out of the website, and Ed and I, with Andrew Kempes, and I don't even remember what this turducket's other name was. He was the fourth member. It was the four of us. We formed Lords of Evolution, a forum that had a podcast through Blog Talk, and that went on Tuesdays. And I don't know why we went Tuesdays. But then we made nice with Alfonso Merriman, who ran FOW. And we started to do a subletted show to them on Monday nights called Intervasion, because it was an promotional invasion. No one understood the name of the show but me, because I came up with it. I thought it was clever as fuck. I still do. That's what we ran with for about a year, and then FOW started to have some real issues because Al was not great at managing a website, and he wasn't great at managing people who he worked for, and he wasn't great at managing just about anything in life. So he closed that down after Wayne Daly took it over. Wayne Daly started his own wrestling outlet, and I don't know what he's doing anymore. I don't know what the name of his site was when he was running it, but it was a thing. It was a .co.uk, so you know it was super legit.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So we then went with just Tuesday, and then, of course, Ed had the Shakeroonie, and that's when we brought you in. So this is about 2012, because it was around Bound for Glory 2012, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say it was 2012. Yeah.
Could have been.
Yeah, I think so. So that's when we jettisoned him and brought you in, and shortly after that we moved to... When did we move to Wednesday? I want to say it was like a few years later. I think we moved to Wednesday when we started to think of a second show idea, and that's when we brought in Marcus. So it's been at least 3 or 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a while, is basically what it boils down to.
It's been a while.
It's been so long that even I don't know. Steel Trap Chad doesn't know. By the way, I am Chad Porto. Joining me is my co-host, Zachary Pew Pew Tyler Whatchamacallit. Hey there, hi there, ho there, Duncan. He's related to Bob Penciotti.
Ah.
Yes, because you know that's what everyone wants to be, is related to Bob Penciotti. So we're starting off with the big news of this morning, or this evening, actually, I should say. It's this morning because I stayed up until 1 in the afternoon because you know how we joke that I'm a workaholic and that it's not good for me?
I mean, I feel like we joke about it in the sense that it's pathetically true and it's hilarious.
It's absolutely true, and that's the issue for today. I figured out why my relationships don't work. Well, it's a twofold thing. I usually date the ones that need fixing, but that's neither here nor there. That's neither here nor there. But yeah, so I took a 4-hour nap, so I got 1 hour more than I normally do. And as I woke up, I started to scroll through my phone as I'm kind of like readjusting to the fact that, it's still the same day that it was when I closed my eyes.
Yeah.
And I saw that Anthem had finally bought Access. And you know what? I wasn't surprised. Because who said, when all the talks were dead, that Anthem and Access were still negotiating? You gotta remember.
Mm-hmm.
Who was it?
Ed Scolio.
I'm gonna punch you in the fuck. Like, dude, I get like 3 moments a year I can brag.
No, it was you, Chad. I will throw it in there.
Ha! And here's just the little round and short of it. The person I talked to, they're like, yeah, it's ongoing, but this has little to do with Impact. Like, Impact's a add-on to this deal. Like, they're not doing this for Impact. They're doing this because it gets Anthem into the American market. This is too big of a deal to let die. I said that.
Mm-hmm.
I said those words. And now Impact will benefit profusely. And here's the thing that should have tipped you. Anthem has not been spending money on Impact that wasn't going to be necessary. They're not going to give, copious amounts of money to do extra things unless it has an immediate payoff. Putting money into the streaming service was to make it look and run better, to better optimize it. It made sense. The touring budget obviously is what it is because it's done to minimize costs and maximize profits. Everything is about making money. So they're not going to shoot a backdoor pilot if they didn't have a place to air it. So of course they fucking bought them. And I couldn't be happier because this is a big deal. But it's not just a big deal. It's a bountiful possibility that has just landed in their lap. Anthem, specifically Impact, is reworking with Noah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's no formal announcement, and I don't know if there will be, but we'll get to Marufuji coming into Impact. But already, I think it was, I know Rhino is heading to Noah, and I want to say someone else was announced to be heading to Noah as well. So Rhino's going to be doing a show actually in the middle of September, I think in like a week or two, in Japan with Noah. And Marufuji's coming over to Impact, so there seems to be a talent swapping partnership already on the way, so that's going to be a good thing. But there's also some indication that Impact really wants to get in bed with New Japan. And let's be honest, New Japan's looking at their American and British partners going, oh, we fucked up. Because as Tama Tonga so poetically put it to, what's that little fucker's name? Flip Gordon. Flip Gordon asked if the Bullet Club was a thing. And Tama Tonga replied back on Twitter, is your company still a thing? So, Ring of Otters in some turmoil. And if it wasn't for the fact that Sinclair Broadcasting was milking the fuck out of cheaply made television products for their television programming, because Sinclair Broadcasting, I think, is the biggest independent TV station going. I think they have like 200 channels. Or 200 stations across the United States, and Ring of Honor airs on all of them. So it's cheap to make that show, considering the markets they're in. But combine that with the fact that they have no star power. Their world champion is a fucking Pillsbury doughboy of no charisma. And the fact that their talent roster has been so depleted so badly, and they haven't found a way to reignite its identity, that it's falling off the fucking cliff. They don't know what they want to be. Do they want to be a lucha promotion? Do they want to be an American pro wrestling promotion? Do they want to be a strong style promotion? They don't fucking know. And it's hurting their product. They got some talent. Now, I'm not going to sit here and dismiss them. Like, Jonathan Gresham is the closest thing to 2006 Bryan Danielson you'll ever see. So they got some stuff. But their other British, their British compadre, Rev Pro, they just stepped into the shits. Last week, there was an incident where a ref got beat up. We documented it on the website at realnerdcorp.com. We also talked about it on last night's show, the Wrestling Underground podcast. Go check it out. The clip is up on YouTube at youtube.com/nerdcorp, or the entire podcast is available for download at realnerdcorp.com. Basically, the ref got his ass kicked. Shaw Samuels slammed him, who was a former British boot camp contestant, I think, in Season 2. He slammed the ref on his neck and shoulders on a bad scoop slam. The ref was not trained to take bumps, so the ref, hurt his nerves in his shoulders and necks. At least that's how it's appearing. And then another guy, Bodum, yanked the referee out and beat the hell out of him. And now that the owner of Rev Pro is being exposed by the same person he tried to protect, Bodum, on Twitter for trying to cover it up. So Rev Pro's in some shits right now. So New Japan's like, ooh, CMLL, please don't do anything wrong. We seriously don't need this right now. And the fact is, New Japan doesn't need any of them. They're touring 7,000 seat arenas out of like 12,000. It's not like they're getting complete sellouts, but if you're bringing 5,000 to 7,000 people, yeah, it's pretty good, especially on like 2 weeks' notice with no card announced. That's really good.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like Impact would kill for those numbers, literally. Like they have several talent in vices right now, like head grips going. We could just slit their throats right now. It wouldn't be a big deal. We can just replace them. So like, yeah, it's pretty impressive what New Japan's doing, and they're doing it without Ring of Honor. They're doing it mostly without CMLL. They're doing it without Rev Pro. So there's a lot of strength in New Japan. Impact wants to get in bed with them, and Impact has a pretty strong standing, save for the whole Killer Cross stuff. I think we can all admit that the Killer Cross situation is being drastically blown up more than it needs to by both parties, and like y'all need to just fucking shut up. Let him go. Let him go make his money and never live up to anyone else's expectation, because he could be a world champion, and let's face it, if he goes to AEW or WWE, it's probably not going to happen. So just let him go. Let him make his money. Let him live his life. There's no problem with that. And I think that's the only real negative. Now with Anthem owning a majority share of Access, and I've been hearing as well, that the idea is within 2 to 3 years to completely own Access. Because the idea is that Anthem wants to take Fight Network and all the content they have with Impact and other outlets and fucking merge into one super fucking power, which wouldn't be that big of a superpower, but they would have essentially a Canadian broadcast outlet and an American broadcast outlet, and it would allow them to continue to expand their reach. That's the whole reason why Anthem wanted Access. Because Access, while not one of the most predominant cable outlets out there, is a nice third-tier outlet. I think they're on the level of Pop, but with a lot more upside, because they have a lot more specific content that applies to people, and they do really good numbers with New Japan, so there's strong ratings there. You get in bed with them, maybe you get New Japan start working with you, maybe you start working with Women of Wrestling, whose half your roster works for them anyway. Wrestling-wise, this deal is just chock full of perfect possibilities, and I cannot wait for more. And even if New Japan doesn't go through, the developing relationship between Noah has an added bonus, because Noah is working with Major League Wrestling, and Major League Wrestling and Impact have worked together before in the past, and both MLW and Impact have strong trajectories going forward. So even if maybe New Japan doesn't fall through and become a partner, maybe you can convince MLW, and that would be a great thing. So again, a lot of upside right now. Bigger network, better opportunities. You're going to have a new studio show. And here's the thing. I don't think they should do a quote-unquote new studio show. I think they should just make Explosion the studio show. Because I've been watching a few episodes, and the problem with Explosion right now is, one, they don't do any marketing for it. You don't know when it's airing. Did you know that it aired on Twitch? Do you know that they air new episodes on Pluto TV?
No idea.
Yup. They don't even promote it on their own fucking TV show. They give a 15-minute block to classic matches, when you could be promoting tickets, you could be promoting the app, which granted the classic throwback match is supposed to do that. You could be promoting your Pluto TV slot. You could be promoting your Behind the Lights Twitch TV show, and you can be promoting your Explosion TV show. They're not, and I think that's part of the reason why people don't really see a lot of Impact stuff besides the main TV show. They're still struggling with marketing. And I don't know if that's because Anthem won't give them the money to market, but even that doesn't really answer the why they're not promoting their own stuff via their television show. Like, all you got to say is Rhino's in action this week on Explosion. Go to impactplus.com to watch the latest episode today.
Yeah.
Like, it's not that hard.
Yeah.
Like you literally spend 20 minutes talking about AJ Styles versus Sting from a decade ago.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's a good match. I liked it, but like, ooh, so important. But this week's episode had, now granted, you and I and half the Impact community don't like Michael Elgin. That said, I understand his importance and his abilities are top notch. And until there is a formal investigation into him, I don't want to play cancel culture. I don't like that. What I do want is an investigation on him, but that's going to have to come from the victims or the quote-unquote alleged victims to come forward and get that going.
Yes.
I can't be the torchbearer. I can't be, who is it? Hannibal Buress was the one who brought up all the Bill Cosby stuff and eventually got him investigated. I can't be Hannibal Buress for you. Like, I don't have that power. I don't have that many people listening to me. So for now, Michael Elgin's innocent. I just still don't like him. He said some skeezy things and he's behaved in a manner that I thought is unbecoming. But I do see his value for now. So he did an interview with Josh Matthews where they were shooting. It's a game of horse, but they did 3 letters, so they called it pig. And it was actually kind of entertaining. Like, Josh Matthews has a little bit of an ability to interview people while not being confined to a chair. And I think if they did more stuff like that, like where it's like, let's go skee ball, let's go to a theme park, I think that would be a lot more fun to do for these around the rings. And you could even, incorporate larger chunks of the segment into Explosion, and I think that would be a really good thing to do, but that's just neither here nor there. But, Zach, obviously they're on Access now. When I sent you that text, as soon as I read it, what was your initial thought? And please don't let it be, fuck you, Chad. I'm busy. Because I know that's one of them.
That was 2 or 3.
Dick.
My initial thought, though, was that, it was that I wasn't all that surprised, honestly, because I know we had discussed this before and how much sense this made for Anthem as a whole, being that until now they're mostly confined to Canada. So, yeah, I mean, it all that made complete and absolute sense. So, and I agree there. Impact is run like it's set up so weird now. It's like every episode now there's at least 15-20 minutes where they play a classic match. It's just like, why? that like show like highlights from the match or something, fine. That'll get you. No, that should be enough. I don't know why you need to show the entire match, but you could definitely use more promoting of your own material that you're making currently and not just the classic stuff. And anything to get Josh Matthews out of the commentators booth. Just listening to Josh and Don Callis every week it's not WWE bad, but it's not great to listen to.
Matt Stryker and Pope. That would be my picks. Matt Stryker and Pope.
I'd roll with it.
So I'm actually going to do a column, realnerdcorp.com, realnerdcorp.com, and I'm going to list all the things that I think Impact should do, and it's actually one I've been working on for a few days. So like this is just a convenient time for this news to break while I'm working on this column. One of the things that I was suggesting is taking that classic throwback match and doing new audio with talent. So like, say you like this week was Sting Styles. Let's do Gail Kim and Jake Christ doing commentary. Or Moose and Falaba. Let's do the Battle Royal to crown a new Knockouts champion with Sawyer Fulton and Sue Young. The joke is they don't talk. Like find ways of re-engaging, and it's not that hard. Like Do you know how easy it is to plug in 2 headphones into a computer and record audio while you watch something? Zach and I have been doing it for a decade. It's not hard. You're saying you can't. Go on.
We at one point started doing that with pay-per-views, just recording audio over them while we watch them.
We did that like twice, but then the pay-per-views started getting longer, and we only had 3 hours.
Yes, I think the last one we did was when Sting debuted at Survivor Series.
Oh God, we did. Because I didn't say anything for like 5 minutes.
I know. I remember you just sitting there, just telling it was just like words.
Words. All you heard was.
Yep.
Oh God. We should. My favorite one that we ever did wasn't even for a pay-per-view. It was for The Last Man on Earth. Because
that was a good one.
Just the poster I made alone.
Oh, that reminds me.
Yes.
The next time we do a Nerd Tracks, I have an idea for a movie.
All right, let's hear it.
It is called, and it's starring Sam Elliott. It's called The Man Who Killed Hitler and Then Bigfoot.
Oh, I am in. We can do this as soon as possible. Tuesdays and Wednesdays are very free for me. Sam Elliott kills Hitler and Bigfoot. I am in. They say when you're in the mountains and you got the blood of Hitler on your hands, you can hear a Yeti coming. And that's what happened. The Man Who Killed Hitler and Bigfoot.
It's amazing. It came out last year.
Oh, it's going to be so good. Oh, it's going to be so good. So it's like 80-year-old Sam Elliott who's all like, the only shows I can get are the ranch. And on that show, I'm just a giant asshole. Like in real life. Eat Jimmy Dean sausages. So this is going to be huge. I'm hearing that they're not going to make any changes with Pursuit until after Bound for Glory, more than likely. Because a lot of the things that they have to do is reevaluate all the shows that are airing on Access right now. They're not going to cut anything huge. So, like, Women of Wrestling, because I believe Jeannie Buss still owns her share of the network. Or part of the network. Jeannie Buss is involved somehow in Access. And I know she's the owner of Women of Wrestling. And she's also the owner of the LA Lakers. At least she's the president. And Jeannie Buss and Mark Cuban have a very good working relationship. So I can't imagine Women of Wrestling would be cut, especially considering, you know, if you integrate Women of Wrestling into the Impact Plus distribution outlet, like that'd be huge. Like not it's not like getting Ring of Honor huge or like New Japan huge, but you know, they should be making plays for available content to add to their service. Somehow, the people who own, I don't even know which conglomerate owns Lucha Underground in its entirety, because it's technically not El Rey. They optioned this entire series to Tubi, which is a free streaming service. How does Impact not go, we'll buy that, because then you can start marketing the home of Lucha Underground. And then if Women in Wrestling want to start putting their stuff on your service VOD, Impact Wrestling, home of Lucha Underground and Women in Wrestling. Like, that's smart.
Yeah.
Maybe I have too big of a head and too big of ideas for my wallet, but hey, you know what? There you go.
I mean, getting Women of Wrestling, I mean, Tessa Blanchard is the Women of Wrestling champion right now.
Yep.
So
Sol Guerrero, she's the ring announcer. Teal Piper, the daughter of Roddy Piper, is debuting for the brand this upcoming season. They got some talent. And like half the roster's Impact already, so it's good synergy. So I got this from WrestleZone. I was going to get the entire thing from the actual press release itself, but the press release is like this newfangled like fucking like multi-page like slide through, click here kind of thing. I'm like, I don't have time to copy and paste all this into a WordPress. Like, fuck off. So this is from WrestleZone. I'm going to read it verbatim as WrestleZone wrote it. Here we go. This is the official press release as they have written up. Impact Wrestling has a new home. The wrestling organization's parent company, Anthem Sports and Entertainment, has closed the deal to partner with Mark Cuban and acquire majority interest in Access TV and HDNet movies. I have no idea what movies are in HDNet movies, but we should probably look that up. They now own Access's library of mixed martial arts and wrestling content. So I guess that means they own everything that's ever aired on Access, so that means they probably own New Japan footage? What? 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 It's a bigger deal than I thought. It's probably not that. But they do have, I think it's the PFL, the Professional Fighting League, I think is on Access. And they're like one of the top feeder systems in MMA, so that's a good get. And considering news that we'll get to later on in the day, that might be even more impressive. We are very excited to add these two successful channels to our portfolio. Sid Leonard Asper, CEO, Anthem Sports Entertainment. Anthem was founded with a mission to deliver compelling, targeted content and experiences to passionate fans globally on the platform of their choice. The music, sports, and entertainment communities served by these channels are a natural extension and perfect complementary to our existing portfolio properties. The addition of Access TV and HDNet movies will allow for increased content ownership, digital expansion, and even more compelling programming for consumers and our distribution partners. In addition to Mark Cuban still being involved, Steve Harvey, yes, that's Steve Harvey, will enter a strategic agreement to produce and develop content for Anthem's channels. My team and I see great opportunity in Anthem, Steve Harvey said. They have incredible shows, experiential, there we go, entertainment, and a huge reach. We look forward to collaborating with Anthem on content development that will surprise and delight this newly expanded audience. Cuban is equally as excited. Anthem's combined targeted brands, enthusiasm, audiences, operational expertise, international footprint, and vision makes them an ideal partner to take Access TV and HDNet movies to their next levels. Given Anthem's portfolio of premium content and complementary programming networks, we should not ask for a better home. And we could not ask for a better home, and we are looking forward to the results that we will collectively generate for this new partnership. No word yet on when Impact will start to airing on the station. Just out of happenstance and how things usually go, I would imagine it would be after Bound Glory. That's just how I see it. So, all in all, it's a real good day for Impact. If Mark Cuban gets interested in Impact, because Mark Cuban's been a big champion for New Japan, and part of the reason why Texas has always been a big hotbed for New Japan, they draw 5,000 to 9,000 people in those seats when most major matches aren't announced, partly because Mark Cuban has endorsed it. Could you imagine the kind of reach Impact would have if Mark Cuban goes, Impact Wrestling is better than the WWE, and he says it on SportsCenter? Holy shit. Holy shit. So, again, I don't want to undersell this. On multiple levels, this is great. I do expect that Fight Network and Fight Network and Access TV and probably HDNet movies will all undergo a name change. That would be my thought. And I don't know what this means for Pursuit, not just as Impact's home, but Pursuit is co-owned by Anthem. So I'm curious to see what would happen with Pursuit. So I would say in terms of a deal, this is not as big as landing on Paramount, the former Spike TV, but it's as good as being on Pop TV when you have now your own parent company making sure that you get better advertising. Because that was one of the big issues with Pop TV was their advertising rates for Impact weren't great. Because Pop TV wasn't selling them as a major program for their outlet. They were more focusing on reruns of Goldberg's. So, what are you going to do? But Pop TV was a good home. And it sucks that they opted to end the deal because Pop TV was willing to keep them on for a little bit longer, just out of respect, and I applaud them for that. So I would actually like to see Pop TV get back involved with Impact eventually, because my hope is to fuck all to the WWE and do, it would be awesome if they could do this, and do Explosion and the studio show and the Impact programming show. That'd be awesome. Do Impact's main home on fucking Access, then do the fucking studio show on Pop, and if that ever were to happen, I don't know. And then do Explosion properly marketed on Impact Plus and Twitch, as well as Behind the Lights. They have 3 programs, original content programs: Behind the Lights, Explosion, and Impact. Y'all need to better market yourselves. I've been a fan for God knows how long. Stop fucking with my heart. You're not Backstreet Boys. You don't get to play games with it. When you listen to our show, you're going to get fun banter. You're going to get funny quips.
Nice work, Bone Daddy.
Swing your partner round and round and go to town. Now it's time to say goodbye to Dora and the kid. Thank you